is a BrightSign 4K player. What is it though? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you why I got it. This is actual electrical content. This could be considered actual electrical content, but it might not be. This is more my electrical content, actual electrical content project stuff. I'm gonna go close that window because you can hear every car that goes past, and it's like knocking out time at the zoo. Right then, so what I've done, I've been in all day teaching, and I've had the fucking lights on, the windows open, and it's been hot because these aren't LED softboxes, they're old softbox because I don't put the electricity in it. Anyway, I've shut the windows now, so I'll start sweating profusely at some point for this video. Memo to self, or if anyone else that wants to sponsor me, I will take sponsorship of anyone who sells air conditioners. I will literally peddle that shit to the fucking class because I cannot do content near over summer with all this line on. Anyway, what's in the box? Show you with the box. What was in the box? Let's go and have a look what's in the box. It's not electrical exactly, but it is. But it's something that I've seen on a video that I wanted to go into, and I want to delve into it. I'll show you what it is first, and I'll talk about it. This I bought off eBay, and it's this. It is a BrightSign 4K player. What is it though? I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you why I got it. I'll tell you where I got the idea to get it. But what I'll do first is I'll show you what's in the box, because people love that shit, don't they? Show you with the box. What was in the box? It looks like it came basically brand new, but I'll show you anyway. Just put it all back together now to unbox it for you. Right then, it came in the box obviously. It's the original box as well, look, because it's got the BrightSign sticker on and the BrightSign logo on. So, it looks like it's not been used to me. I don't know if someone bought it and didn't use it, but anyway. It's the 4K one, and there's a newer one out than that. They've got a whole new series out. I think this one's about 10 years old. But it doesn't matter because it works and it's very, very robust. Opening the box, yeah? So I'll get rid of the box. Set of instructions. This is not a set of instructions that's come with it. This is a set of instructions someone's printed off before maybe deciding they're bored of it. Anyway, I appreciate they've left me a set of instructions. Then, there is the BrightSign player itself. I'll come back to that. And then there's a bag of ancillaries, which I'll undo. I'll get rid of the box, it's getting them away. Let's see what we've got in here and what's going back in the box I don't need. We've got the mains power adapter with one of those funky new connectors I'm starting to get familiar with because I've got all sorts of stuff. One of them. American crab plug. That can go back in the box, we don't want that. There's the UK figure of 8 plug, which I will be keeping, so I'll put that with the adapter. There is a European. No, thank you. Oh, what's this? Oh my! Oh, I've just twatted the tripod. What a knob! Put the tripod back. There is the. What fucking country is this? If it's on YouTube, I'll tell you what country that is. Think about Mexicano or like Southeast Asia or something. Anyway, I don't know. It's obviously multi-voltage. There's a little packet of. There's a little door lock. I'll keep that, and some sticky pads, and there's a HDMI cable. I'll keep that. So I'll leave those out and get rid of all the other junk. It's come to me in such good condition now, I'm absolutely positive it's new, because all they've done, I think they've plugged it in because the UK plug was taken out, but I reckon it's pretty much unused because the HDMI cable's unused. All the weird plugs, I'm going to save them. I'm going to put them in a box now and save them with the original box. And I just thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Like, that's a start set, innit? Would it be cool to collect all the world's plugs physically and attach to a bit of what is a display thing? That's another project that might never get finished. So anyway, let's get on with what we've got over here. So this little thing spinning round next to me is a BrightSign player. Like I say, it's the 4K one. It's about 10 years old as a product, but seem to have picked it up as new, brand new in box off eBay. What it is if you understand a PLC, right, basically, there's lots of things you can do with computers, yeah? You can make them play video, and you can make them control things. But you don't very often find a computer in a control panel where a PLC could be, because a PLC is effectively a computer, a processor, with all the shit you don't need removed from it, then all the shit you do need, like inputs and outputs, put into it, made in such a robust way that it doesn't fail, and slapped inside a separate box and called a PLC, a programmable logic controller. This BrightSign box is the same but for video. So they took all the benefits of the computer, stripped all the shit out you don't need, put it in a more robust box, made it more inclined to be good in atmospheric conditions, and put loads of stuff in it that's useful to you if you're playing videos for digital signage. It's a digital signage player. It's the kind of thing when you see billboards, which me and my wife were saying as we drove some the other day, you don't see billboards anymore, but you do. You see digital billboards, digital signage. And this is what sits in the background running them, because it has a lot of things that make it better than a computer for doing that job. Also, it's bespoke, manufactured for that purpose, and comes with bespoke software that's free for that purpose. It's had all the crap removed from it that a computer would normally have, and again, it's had special things put inside it that make it better at doing the job than just a computer. And they do a whole range of them. BrightSign is the brand I'm looking for. It's been superseded by one, but this is the one I've got, because I paid about 50 quid for it off eBay. And I'm going to use it in some projects, because obviously I do video. I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have a play one and see what it does? But it's not just a video player as such. Let me show you what it does. Let's talk about the hardware first. We'll cover the software in a day, but I'll go into the hardware for you. So we'll start on this side, because it's the most boring side. Well, the top's the most boring side. There's nothing on there. It's just a pressed steel case. Plenty of ventilation in it. And there's a PCB inside. Oh, some panels on the bottom as well. I might look in there. There's some PCBs inside that do all the video shit. On this side, you've got a vent. There's a button there, like, you know, them reset style buttons. In fact, one of them's called reset, and there's a button called SVC, which I'm guessing does some function that you might want to do, but not very often. But it's SVC. We'll find out what that means later. In fact, if it's YouTube, I'll put it up here now. And there's a reset button to start again from scratch. Right then, round the front, I'm moving that thing to get on my tits. You've got an audio input, I think that is, because it's green. So there's an audio input or output. I'm not sure which one it is. Maybe it's both. So forget audio in and out of it. On a 3.5mm jack. You've got a 3.5mm jack for infrared, because obviously you can have some infrared controller for it. There's a serial port, which will be RS232 or 485, I'm guessing. So you can send serial commands to it to make it do things. There's a GPIO port, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 pin D. GPIO stands for general purpose input and output. You'll be able to send signals to that to make it do things like play videos, blah, 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 play certain tracks and all that good stuff. But let's look at the software. There's a USB port, a normal standard USB port. Round on this side, we've got a slot for the SD card to go in, and there's like a separate cover that can go over that. It is one of them clicky in ones, look. It does click in, but when you click it in, it can still be pulled out, so there's a separate cover for that. There's then a light, some LEDs. We've got serve, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, USD, error, upload, power, and busy. That covers it for that side. Then round here we've got this new, I keep seeing this a lot now, I don't know what socket this is, but this seems to be the socket for like things you don't want to actually unplug, which is the power input, 12 volt, 5 amps. You've got SPDIF. SPDIF, that looks like, that's an optical audio, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, it's optical audio, that is. HDMI in and HDMI out. 2 USB 3.0 ports and 1 Ethernet port. That's pretty much it. But I'll tell you what, we'll crack these panels off the bottom and we'll look inside, see what's going off in there as well. Right, I've run on the screws, you're going to find out with me. In the first one, that's a M.2 slot in it. Is that for like a M.2 expand? Is that M.2? The ones you put on hard drives in, so you can either get some sort of short form hard drive to go in that, or it's bespoke for the thing maybe. I think that's for a hard drive or something like that, or other accessories that fit into that style of socket. It's that style of socket for anyone playing at home. Is that micro SAT or something? I do not know. Thinking for M.2. And then in here, oh, there's a SIM card slot. Is that a SIM card slot? That's not a SIM card slot, is it? That's micro. What is that? Is that for Sims? What is that? I think that's micro. That's not SIM card, is it? That's micro USB. So you put a micro USB card in there. I'm guessing if you don't want to use the USB card, that's on the side. But oh, this is a guess at the minute, because I could just read the instructions. So there's an SD card slot there. I think that is definitely a micro SD, because they're all in a line, look. So that's an SD card. Maybe that's for firmware or operating system or something like that, or some other jiggery pokery. Or maybe it's just for that style of card, because they don't want to put it on the side. But anyway, you get lots of different ones of these. So there will be ones with SIM cards in, there'll be ones with Ethernet in, Wi-Fi on board. In fact, that could be for a Wi-Fi card, because I don't know if it's got onboard Wi-Fi. But anyway, there's the hardware. Should we crack the whole case open? Yeah, go on then. You know straight away it's in industrial applications and stuff like that, and professional applications, because you undo 2 little screws here. This pushes, and the top lifts off. The top lid is actually plastic. inside you've got a huge heatsink. And the reason you've got a huge heatsink, absolutely huge heatsink, and probably loads of thermal paste, is because it's passive in it. It's got no fans, it's passively cooled, so it could be sat in some window display or some signage or something like that, and it'd just be getting roasting, so it probably doesn't need to stay that cool anyway. It's at the processor. So there's a massive heatsink in there, and pretty much nothing else. I can't see anything else of interest in there. Can't even see a standby battery. No, can't see a standby battery in there or anything like that, so, or a clock battery, because probably ain't got a clock. Maybe it relies on the internet, I don't know. But anyway, maybe you don't need that because it's been stripped out. It's designed to be simple. So yeah, that's the internal gubbins, that sort of stuff. Right, let's talk about the rest of it and what we're going to do with it, maybe this GPIO slot. Right, so if you're wondering why I've got this, I don't know myself. What actually happened was, I saw that these were a thing a couple of years ago in a Tim Hunkin video, which I'll put, if it's on YouTube, the footage of in here, if he lets me, or if I asked, or maybe I'll stick it anyway. So you're going to watch that now.
And the actual players around the back of this screen, and they look a right old mess, but what they are, these purple boxes called BrightSign players. And BrightSign, it's sort of, they're solidly made, a bit like PLCs. They're used by museums and advertising displays, that sort of thing. So they're expensive, but they are reliable.
You're back. So I saw it, I was like, that's interesting. And that's all I thought, was that was interesting. Then when I went to Tim Hunkin's arcade and saw some of these could be used and watched a few more videos on these machines.
Hello, I'm Kevin. And I'm Nigel. We're going to tell you all about the humans, those large flightless mammals. Now, we all know they're a great source of fish and chips. But seriously, we're now starting to discover much more of their strange life cycle. We've gone high-tech.
I was like, that's really interesting, interactive. Now, that's why I've got it. What we're going to use it for, I do not know. But I'll show you what it can be used for, I'll tell you what it can be used for. It can be used for, because you're probably thinking, why not just use a computer? Why not just get a computer? Say I put a screen outside my office, get a computer and play a video down it. Now when people come, they have a flashy video of all your logos and stuff like that. That's fine. You can do that. You can use a computer. But this is specific for the purpose because it's got serial and GPIO pins. Also, it comes with bespokes. Comes with some tripod smashing. Start again. It comes with bespoke software called BrightAuthor, where you can do things like that, look. Have like a single screen, a screen with a banner, a screen with a side thing. So it's basically got functions that make advertising easier. But we go deeper than that. We can go deeper than that because what it's got is, as well as all the normal stuff you expect, you load all the video onto the SD card from the software, right, and you make your videos. But they can program actions and stuff behind it. So for example, you can use one, you get them TVs where it's 1 or 4 or 8 or 16 big wall TV walls. These can support doing big TV walls. I'm not sure this exact model can, but they do these where you put one of these on the back of each TV and it handles that specific section. So you can get an image, cut it into 4 and send a part of the image to each TV and these will handle it. Not this specific one though, I don't think. I think there's a special range for that. But it has got serial stuff. So I'm just chatting shit now from what I read. But basically, like, if you've got 10 of these in the building and they're all around the building, you can link them via Ethernet or serial so they're timed so that if you start watching an advert on this one and turn across to that one, it's in exactly the same place with exactly the same sound, so you don't echo. So you can sync up video and stuff like that. You'll be able to load stuff on serial, you'll be able to make commands to start, stop and whatever on the serial. What is interesting is GPIO and the serial and the Ethernet. Now what I'm guessing is, and I know because I've looked at the software, is you could, for example, you could put this outside a cafe, running a digital sign, and you could have an advertisement on this SD card for ice cream. Then you could have an advertisement for coffee and tea, and then you could have one for iced tea, and then you could have one for lunch and dinner and all that. What you could do is you can use the internal clock to play the right adverts at the right time of day. But what you can also do is you can have digital inputs there. You can have a thermometer so that when it's sunny, it plays ice cream adverts. But when it's cold, it plays tea adverts because you've got the GPIO, the general purpose input pins, which means you can put inputs in there from whatever you want. You could have an input to say the lights were on the cafe to indicate it was open. It's just I/O. general purpose input output. So when the cafe's shut, you could say, we're open tomorrow from 6:30. If the cafe is open and it's before 9 o'clock, you play breakfast adverts. If the cafe's open and it's between 10:30 and 2:30, you play lunchtime adverts. And so it gives you a lot more flexibility, and it allows scheduling, so you haven't got to worry about changing your video manually on the computer and all that bollocks. It can do it. Also, you can connect it to the internet and you can forward advertising to it. So if you change the advertising that week, you can distribute the videos automatically and all mad stuff like that. That is what it's designed for. So it's purely built around digital signage where it plays videos of various types and flavours. Don't hit the tripod. So yeah, it plays various videos of different types of flavours, but it's got programmable intelligence. So you can say it's hot, it's playing advert for ice cream. It's cold, playing advert for coffee, and all that kind of good stuff. And it's just designed to sit in an outdoor unit, hidden behind a TV, in the cold, rain, snow, and just sit there chugging away, doing its job for hours and hours on end. All the digital signs are street level MIM. And I imagine they'll plug in a GSM modem or like some sort of modem, SIM card modem, and they'll just pump adverts out to it. And it'll probably even report back when it's broken. Or it can report back every hour or so, and when it doesn't report back, they'll know it's broken. So it is literally bespoke for that job. However, I intend to use it for, I don't know yet, but I've got a few ideas. First project I'm going to do with it is I'm going to get a cheap plasma screen TV or monitor, because they are cheap, and I'll put it up outside my office and have my logo on it fixed. Then I have a doorbell that when you press it, affects the GPI open and plays another video that says, we'll be with you shortly, something like that, just to get my head around why it works. Then I'm going to see how I can get on with it, because I've got to learn not only the hardware, but the software. So I'm going away to work this week, so I'm going to take the whole thing with me, put an SD card in, which I'll sort out, take it in monitor for doing some work anyway. I'm just going to have a little play with it. And ideally, like, I could have a little screen here, doing some graphics or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, that is a BrightSign box. That is an introduction to it. The reason I'm bothering to do these is, one, because fucking what I do. I'm actually electrical content. Have you heard I'm a big player? And also, I've not seen much like... On YouTube, I've been unable to locate any low-level maker, hacker, builder style shit for these. So hopefully this will serve as a thing as I whittle them away through it to help people in the future, because there's not a lot out there. So that's that for this one. Don't know if this is an episode or if this is a part of a video, if it's on YouTube. But what I'll do next is I'll start showing you around the software and how that works. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be intriguing. It's not going to be like the most advanced thing ever. I'm just going to show you me whittling my way around the software to make it perform at least something basic. And also, I need to purchase a D14 plug for this GPIO port and see how this GPIO port works, and we'll have a play with that. And the serial, why not? Let's have a play with the serial. It's a fucking 60-year-old protocol. Right, I'm going to go home now. See you later.